Good afternoon everybody and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, let's do a walk around and tour of the all-new 2026 Kia Sportage. For 2026, the Sportage name is going to be refreshed, as you can see from the ground up. It still has that same look as we saw with the 2025 Sportage, but the only difference is that you're going to be getting the newest iteration of Kia's Tiger Nose Grille. You get a revised rear end, you get some unique wheels, and you do get some updates to the inside as well. Now this one in particular that we're taking a look at today is a X Pro Prestige, meaning that this is the highest one that you can buy, but it's also going to be the most rugged version of the Sportage that you can get. Now with that being said, this one here does have a 12.3-inch instrument cluster and infotainment system. You're going to have leather interior, which is very, very nice, and overall, even this color here is super unique and cool as well. With that being said, a huge thank you to Kia Frisco, which is right here in Frisco, Texas, for giving me some time with this one today. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get started. As you can see with the key, it's in your traditional Kia key fob. Has the shape and look of a detonator, which is very nice. You have your Kia emblem right there, followed by your controls on this side, as well as on this side. On this side, you're going to have your lock, unlock, your trunk release, and your panic alarm. And on this side, you're going to have your remote start. To remote start the vehicle is make sure the vehicle is locked and push down and hold the remote start function, and the vehicle will start right up. And when you're finished, just hold the remote start button again and the engine will shut itself off. Now starting off here in the front of the vehicle, as you can see, as I mentioned before, this one is going to be the latest model to integrate the new Tiger Nose Grille, which looks absolutely gorgeous on this car here. As you can see, you also do have your Kia badge right there, as well as a front-facing camera. And when you pan out a little bit, it kind of gives it an aggressive look, as you would expect from a vehicle of this size. And also, it does take cues from just looking at it from the bigger Kia Sorento. Now on this one, you do also have your front parking sensors as well as your front fog lights, as you can see there. And you do have your adaptive radar cruise control at the bottom, basically, so that way it will depress the brakes, allowing you to come to a complete stop before you get yourself involved in a frontal accident. In addition to that, you have your sleek looking LED daytime running lights with your LED projector headlamps. Checking out your wheels and tires on this one, we're taking a look at a set of BF Goodrich BF Goodrich Trail Terrain All Seasons. These measure, if I can find the tire size here on the wheel real quick, these are 235, these are 17s, sorry. 235, 65 R17s all the way around. Coming over to the door, this vehicle does have a smart key access system, which allows easy access to the exterior as well as the interior. By coming up to the door, there's going to be a touch sensor inside. Just put your hand in and the vehicle will indicate unlocking. I had to jump on inside of the vehicle. And when you're finished, close it up, tap this button here. One beep will indicate locking, and the mirrors will fold back in. The exterior color of this one is finished off in Panthera Metal with a black leather interior with quilted accenting specific to the Prestige trim. Coming over to the door panels, you can see you're going to have some hard touch plastic material on top. However, you do have some softer material down here. You have an aluminum door handle, two-person memory seating. You do have controls here for your power mirrors, your power locks, your power windows, and your child window lock right there, followed by a small storage pocket and an area for a small cup holder. You also have just one of your many Harman Kardon sound speakers here in the door jamb. Unlock a smart key access system. The Kia Sportage does come standard with push button ignition. By having the key fob in the vehicle or within your person, just put your foot on the brake and hit the button to go. Very nice. The Kia Sportage does come standard with a fully leather wrapped rack and pinion power steering wheel with controls on the left as well as on the right sides. Left, you're going to have controls for your pages, as well as some safety features, as well as your drive mode selector. To the right, we're going to have our mode button here, favorites button, as well as our hands-free voice and telephone controls. And our terrain mode, since this one is the X Pro trim level. Now, this steering wheel is going to be one of the new things for the 2026 Sportage, as this basically adapts from the Kia K4 compact sedan. Now, coming up here, we're taking a look at just one of the two 12.3-inch displays here. This is a fully digital instrument cluster with two main gauges. To the left, you have your current speed. To the right, you're going to have your tachometer. Right in the middle is the main driver information center. At the bottom, you're going to have your range to empty, your fuel gauge, your exterior temperature, gear selector, coolant temperature, and then your odometer reading on the far right. We can cycle through a couple of different things here on the steering wheel, on the screen via the steering wheel rather, and that's going to allow us to see our current trip information. We also do have our compass, and we also have our little car icon there for our lane departure system, which is pretty nice to see. Now, coming over here, we're taking a look at another 12.3-inch display in the form of the infotainment system for the vehicle. And as you can see, it's really nice. Kia has always been on top, as well as Hyundai has always been on top when it comes on to their infotainment system as of late, and they do a really good job. Now, as you can see, this is no different than what I've done in some Kia and Hyundai reviews before, so it shouldn't take me that long to go through this infotainment system with you guys. Now, for 2026, nothing has really changed as far as the tech in here, as far as what you're getting out of it. So with that said, it does look pretty cool to check this one out. Now, with that said, in midst of everything, starting off here, this is going to be basically your home page. You're going to be walking with three distinctive screens here. You have navigation on this side, audio on this side here, and then everything else is going to be over here, because when you pull this over, this is going to be an introduction to just some of the things that you can get yourselves into as far as features that you're going to learn about the vehicle, settings, and all that stuff, and it's pretty cool to see. You even have more here and more here, which we'll go through in just a moment. Starting off here with our navigation system, as you can see, it's nice, well detailed, and it does do a pretty good job, as you can see there. Overall, I do like how it looks, and it does do a pretty nice job as far as the quality is concerned. You're going to have your icons over here for things such as your search for destinations, your compass, voice activated volume for that voice activated navigation system, your zoom in function here, as well as your scale. You can also search for destinations down here as well, and it will tell you exactly where you're at. You also have your what's playing on the radio right here, which is pretty cool to see. We're going to turn down our audio system here for any copyright purposes that we might encounter. And then we're going to go straight to our audio system. This, of course, is going to show us everything that we need to see here for our audio. This is going to be your sources on the left side here, which includes FM, AM, and Sirius XM radio, as well as your favorites. You have all your channels here because this is Sirius XM, as well as different categories to whatever it is that you're listening to. You also have your icons down here, so you have Sirius XM, FM, and then eventually have AM radio. But overall, it does look really, really nice. Now, with that being said, you would also have Bluetooth audio and all that stuff, which I assume that's what this button is for down here. But with that said, it's pretty easy to use once you get the hang of it, because, of course, with that being the case, you'll be able to kind of get an idea of how this all works together as far as the audio system is concerned. With that being said, as we turn back, we're now going to go over here to our features list, and there's a lot of features in the 2026 Kia Sportage. So first and foremost, we have our phone projection, entertainment, voice memo, weather, setup, YouTube for the first time with this vehicle, sports, valet mode, connected garage, vehicle diagnostic, service maintenance, as well as HD radio data, our notifications, and our online manual. So starting things off here, we're going to go into our phone projection. This is where you'll be able to connect a phone via the Bluetooth to the vehicle in order to access your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto compatibility, which is pretty cool to see. You have YouTube in here for the first time as well. That's going to be required with a Kia Connect subscription. You also have entertainment, which, as you can see, also the same thing. So some of these that I'll be going through will require that Kia Connect subscription, so just to keep that in mind. Weather, again, same thing. Coming over here, we do have our connected garage. That's going to be if you actually have a profile set up in the vehicle. Sports, again, Kia Connect as well. So stuff like that you'll be able to just get access to through that Kia Connect app on your phone. Now, we do have things such as our vehicle diagnostics, for example. That's going to allow us to, again, Kia Connect, that's going to allow us to kind of see exactly what we need to know about oil, tires, all that stuff. So stuff that you would want to have maintained on the vehicle, that's what that is. Service maintenance is going to tell you when the service is due for the vehicle. And last but not least, our setup here, which is going to be everything that you need to know about the vehicle as far as features that come standard, as well as things you can enable, disable, change, and make it your own. You have a lot going on here, which includes our vehicle, navigation, sound, device connections, user profile, voice recognition, screen layout, display, buttons, cluster, data network, and general. Like I said, I'm not going to go through every single screen here, but you will at least get an idea of what to expect when you buy the 2026 Kia Sportage. So, Starting off with our vehicle setup here, as you can see, you have our driver assistance, drive mode, active sound design, climate, seats, lights, door, digital keys, and convenience. Starting off with our driver assistance features, we're going to be seeing things such as our driver assistance for our parking sensors, our attention warning for our lane departure, safety is going to be for our forward collision warning system. Let's, for example, click on that. You have your forward safety warning system, lane departure or lane safety, blind spot view monitoring system, safe exit assist, blind spot safety. That's pretty cool to see as far as that is concerned. Driving convenience right here, for example, you do have your smart cruise control, your highway driving assist, your auto highway speed change. And then as you come to our driver attention warning, that's going to allow you to kind of be aware of what's going on around you, which is very nice to have in the vehicle. And then again, parking safety is going to deal directly with your parking sensors. To our drive mode we go. As you can see, you can set up your own drive mode in the vehicle, which is going to allow you to change up certain aspects of the driving experience, if you will. So basically it says set a personalized drive mode based on the user's selection of modes for various systems. So pretty much does exactly as it says. Active sound design is going to allow you to make some changes, so that way it will allow you to kind of get an idea of how the engine and road noise kind of work together. So you can turn that feature off. You can have a small change, moderate change, or a large change. Climate functions here, which includes your circulating air, automatic ventilation, climate features. We have our seats, as you can see there, as well as our lighting, which you can adjust the one-touch turn signal, headlight delay, you can turn that on or off, high beam assist on or off, interior lights always on, you can turn that feature on or off as well. With that said, coming down here to our sound, this is where we'll be able to adjust our speed-dependent volume control. And of course, you do have the Harman Kardon sound system in the vehicle standard. You also have your position here, which is going to allow you to basically go through and kind of adjust where the sound is going to be throughout the vehicle. So basically, your speed compensated volume, as some manufacturers call it for their vehicles. You have your tone, which is going to allow you to adjust your treble, mid-range, and bass. You have your active sound design that we just went through. You have your guidance here as far as like your volume is concerned, as well as any alerts, driver assistance warnings and volumes and stuff of that nature, as well as your connected devices. Moving on from that, we're going to go to our screen layout. That's going to allow you to customize your gate style as well as your graphic style as well. So for example, you have style A, style B, which is also going to change up the look of the gauge cluster, and then you have style C, which kind of gives it a more sportier appearance. And so we then go back to style A here, which looks pretty nice. We also have a screensaver that you can select from, as you can see, and you can have a split screen set up to where you'll have some of these functions available on the screen for you. You have your display here, which includes our brightness adjustments, our camera settings, as well as anyone who is susceptible to light. You have that blue light filter, which is pretty nice to see. With that said, coming over here to our general, we do have our software information and updates, system information, as you can see, date and time adjustments, our language, our keyboard, units, media options, as well as a factory reset at the very bottom. So overall, in general, this is kind of the setup here as far as going through some of the initial features and everything that you need to know about the Kia Sportage for 2026, which is pretty nice to see. Now, with that being said, to the very back, we don't really have much because we only have our online owner's manual, which you can consult throughout the vehicle versus reading the actual booklet, and then any notifications that might come up on the vehicle, let's say warnings or maintenance required or anything like that. That's basically what that is for. So overall, it's pretty it's not really self-explanatory, but it is comprehensive. It does a great job of giving you a lot of great features and overall kind of going through everything you need to know about the Kia Sportage here. Now, with that being said, one last thing I will show you. This is where you'll be able to change your different profiles, which when you click on this, you can have your reset menu order, profile settings, those are online manual. So that being said, everyone, that's going to do it here for the tour of the infotainment system in the 2026 Kia Sportage. Before I move any further, this vehicle does come standard with a 8-speed automatic transmission. Put it into reverse, you do have that backup camera with guidance lines, and they do adjust as you turn the wheel. The SX Prestige is also going to give you, or not, excuse me, not the SX Prestige, but the Prestige X Pro is also going to give you a 360 camera standard. You have your around view monitor, which is really nice, as you can see, and then you have your camera settings down here at the bottom. With that said, coming down here, we do have our vents. We do have our climate control functions down here, as you can see, which also, when you click on this, is going to turn into your standard features and settings. So, starting off here with our climate controls, you have your adjustments here for the temperatures. You have fan speed, fan positioning. You have your front and rear defrost, auto climate, and the recycling. Click this here, it's going to switch back over to our standard setup here, which includes our seat track, media, favorites, setup, search, map, and our home button. You also have that physical volume knob as well as tuning knob over here. Coming down here, we do have a key wireless charging pad, which is very nice. You also have a fast charging port right here, which is a USB-C, and you also have another one over here, which is also USB-C. And that indicator will let you know if the key wireless charger is in use. It will illuminate orange. You have your 8-speed automatic transmission here. You do have some shortcut buttons here, which includes your auto stop start off function, camera, your parking sensors, hill descent control, and your auto hold. You have 2 cup holders here, as you can see, which is where the key is in. Some storage space right here. And then come over here to our glove compartment. You have a good amount of storage space inside with a USB outlet. The seats themselves are very nice and very comfortable feeling. I do like the fact that this one being the Prestige, you are going to be getting kind of a more comfortable interior, being the fact that this is the top of the line trim. You do have quilted material coming down the middle, some nice side bolsters with some leather stitching, and overall the seat presentation does look really, really impressive. Coming over here to our glove box, it is going to be dampened and you have a good amount of storage space inside. You have some aluminum or full wood finish here, and then up here is going to be all hard touch plastic. When the sticker is going to be right here, so we can go through at the end. We do have our sunroof, or excuse me, our mirror right here, I should say. We do have our controls here for our sunroof, as well as our overhead lights. We do have Kia Connect and our red button here for roadside assistance. We do have a visor with a mirror, as well as a light, as you can see there. And then as we come over to the left side, we do have our gauge dimmer switches, open up the tailgate, as well as our traditional off switch and our electronic parking brake. We'll go ahead and open this up right now. And so with that being said, for 2026, the Kia Sportage does seem to be not only impressive, but it is very nicely adjustable as far as what changes have been made, and overall they're very much welcome. So with that said, let's go ahead and continue the tour of the 2026 Kia Sportage. Coming into the back of the new Kia Sportage, materials do fall through in this one, which look really nice. You're going to have 2 seat pockets, one on this side and one on that side. You have your USB-C ports integrated into the side of the seats right here, as well as there's one right here. You have your grocery bag holders here on both sides. You have rear ventilation, as well as a little storage area down at the bottom. And then you follow that up here with a pad armrest and 2 cup holders. Fuel tank. Coming into the cargo area of the new Kia Sportage, it kind of remains unchanged for 2026. So as you can see, it does make things a whole lot easier. With the way that this is set up right now, you're looking at nearly 40 cubic feet of space, which is very impressive for a compact, or in this case, somewhat a mid-sized looking SUV, which is very nice. And you can fold the seats down, which is going to be by these tabs on this side and on that side. And when you do so, you'll be getting upwards of 74.1 cubic feet of space, which is overall very, very good for this vehicle. Now, since we're back here, we do have our carpeted mats here. We do have our trunk liner in here. And then when we lift up this portion at the bottom, we have our spare tire as well as our first aid kit. When you're done, tap the button and it will close on automatically for you. Now, as it's closing down, as you can see, one of the changes for 2026 comes in the rear. It's going to be completely revised. You have LED taillights in the back. They're going to be clear and they do look pretty cool. Kia badge right there, as well as a Sportage X Pro badge, and your rear parking sensors, as you can see. In addition, you do have piano black mirror covers with LED turn signals on them. Under the hood of the Kia Sportage, we're taking a look at the standard 2.5-liter gasoline direct injection SmartStream 4-cylinder engine. It produces 187 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque. It's only made to that 8-speed automatic transmission, and you can have this vehicle in either front-wheel drive or, in this case, all-wheel drive. All right, guys, let's now attempt to go over the window sticker for the new Kia Sportage. 2026 Sportage X Pro Prestige all-wheel drive and Panthera Metal Matte, which is a matte color, black leather interior. As you can see, stuff that are on this side here are going to come standard with the vehicle. And then as we come over to our options list, we do have a few on here. MSRP starting out for this particular trim is $39,590. You do get the paint color here for $595 and the carbureted floor mats are $180. MSRP including option comes in at $40,365, and then you have your in-lane freight and handling at $1,395 for a total of $41,760. You also do have a add-on here from the dealership, as you can see, which is around $1,500 extra, for a total of just $43,259. Fuel economy for this vehicle is also pretty good, coming in at 23 city, 26 highway, and 24 combined. In conclusion, the new Kia Sportage is pretty much a revision of what we've been seeing over the last couple of years with some other Kia products, and I'm glad to see that Kia has now decided to really give this vehicle a proper update. It looks very good. I'm very excited for it, and I can't wait to see what goes on with the Sportage going forward. With that being said, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this walk around and tour of the 2026 Kia Sportage X Pro Prestige. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the